Alright, so in this, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and make it so we can click on our enemies and have them die, okay? So, a terrible, painful death. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make I need a click, a mouse click event. So I just need something to click on so I can use this code snippet. So I'm just going to use this enemy running one. Go down to underneath actions, then event handlers, and we just want to do a mouse click event. Double click on it. Yeah, it's going to automatically create one. I really don't care about any of that because we're going to remove it anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and take this, Control X, and I'm going to put it before the setup function, just so the setup's last. And I want it so I click on anything, not just this specifically. I know that doesn't make sense, but what we're going to have is that we can click on the stage, and then we're going to test what we're clicking on. Because I can make it so I can click on this one, but that only works for this specific thing. And this can go away. That can be deleted. So when I'm instantiating, it's going to be random one, so that's not going to really work. So we're just going to do stage.addEventListener, and we're just going to call this... we're just going to call it, what do you call it? Enemy click, I guess. Enemy click. Clock. There we go. Click. And we're going to call this the same thing. Enemy click. Alright. And I'm going to take this event listener, and just to tidy things up, I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to put it right inside of this function setup. So it adds that event listener. And that's all set up. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to make this bit of code here work. So after that is done, I'm going to remove that because I don't need that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do if e.target is, it's the same thing as equals equals. I'm just going to write, let's try equal, we'll just do is enemy. So if it's of the type enemy, remember when we made our when we spawned the stuff, we made our enemy initially, it's of the type enemy here. So if it is enemy, I'm going to want it to run this bit of code, and what we're going to do is we are going to say actually it's not by the way, it's event, because event is what when we click up here, it's going to send us a special type of data type of mouse event, and it's just calling it event. So event's how we're going to access it. So it's event dot target dot parent dot remove child and e dot target. Okay. So that might be kind of confusing, but basically what we're doing is to say, okay, if the event that we tap on, if it's the enemy, what we need to do is the event, the target, the parent of it. We have to select the parent to remove it from it, okay? Because I can't just remove the object. I have to use the parent to remove it. Now, if you go to do this, you're going to see, I'm just going to Control Enter, undefined property. Oops, sorry, that should be event target. Event, okay. You're going to see it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. Oops, I forgot. I added something in here because I was doing a little troubleshooting. Let me just get rid of this layer. Delete layers. Okay, back here. Actually, I may need to put that back in, but we'll see. Alright, so you're going to see when I click on it, it's not going to do anything. Just ignore that thing you saw a second ago. See, I can click, nothing happens. Now the reason why is that it's looking at the parent of what I'm clicking on. So this took me a while to figure out, but basically the idea is if I click on this object, it's giving me this thing's parent. So in that case, this is just the body. It's giving me enemy body. It's not giving me the enemy. So that's why it's getting kind of messed up. So what we have to do is before we create that object, we need to add a bit of code here, and we're going to say enemy dot mouse children, and we're going to set that equal to false. And what that's going to say is that we can't click on the children of the object, just the object itself. Okay, which should hopefully make this work. There you go. So now I can click on them and they go away. Yay! All right. So we did that. That's pretty good. So we can keep track of that. Now the other thing I want to do is maybe to keep track of a score of some sort. So let's go ahead and go up here, and it's kind of a lot. We're gonna do a variable, and we'll just say my score. Okay, and it's just gonna be an int, and we're gonna set it. We're gonna initialize it with 0. So also inside of here, besides killing that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do my score is going to be equal to, or plus equal 1. Okay, and so basically it'll add 1 to the score each time. Now the other thing I'm going to need is a way to keep track of my score here. So well, I must have deleted that layer too. I was having a lot of problems getting this to work. So let me put my background in there. Background. Where are you, background? Pop that in there. Okay, that's acceptable. Let's go back to actions. All right. So I need to put. I'm going to lock that. I'm going to make a new layer above background. Come on. And we're just going to call it text. And I'm going to go to my type tool here and go to properties, and we'll just use that font. That's fine. Make sure it's dynamic when we're drawing this. And let me back this thing up. And it's kind of dark, so I'm going to go ahead and use like a light gray. Alright, and I'm just going to write, I'm going to do left align. Okay, I'm going to write score and 0 to start with. And we'll go right about there. I'm going to pull this up a little bit just to make it cleaner, and we'll call that good. Now, I'm just going to click on this. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta embed this. So I'm gonna hit embed, and I'm just gonna copy this. I can't. Okay, I'll just manually write it. ERASBOLDITC, just so that I know what it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and click all, and hit OK. So now that's embedded in there. So I need an instance name to get a hold of it. So I'm just gonna call it score text. All right. So that way, that's how I'm gonna interact with it. I'm going to go here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to say score text.text, the text element of the score text, and we're going to set that equal to score space. All right, we can concatenate it with our score, so it'll be plus my score. Now this won't actually work because my score is an int, so we have to convert it to a string so that it is readable. So we're going to do string. And it's just a built function that will convert this to that. So let's go ahead and hit like that, Control Enter or Command Enter, and let's see. So boop, 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 and you can see we are doing pretty good. Alrighty, yay. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this. So Control S. Is this. I'm just going to make it, I'm going to make a timer, and then set that so that way it's you know, it's working. So we're going to make another variable here, and I'm going to call it God. Let's see. Total time. All right. Actually, let's do this. We'll call it time left. All right. And we're gonna set it. Oops. And it will be of a type number. Okay. Type number. And we're gonna set it equal to so how long I want it to take. So let's say you have let's say 20 seconds. Okay. So that's how much time there's going to be. Now I need a way to count down. So all we're going to do is right inside of our loop here. I'll just add it after these. I'm just going to do time left. And it's going to be time left. It's going to be minus equals. So it's going to be time left equals time left. That's what the minus equals means. And then it's going to be 1/24 of a second each time. All right. Now I'm going to do another piece of text up here. Make sure so that I can see my time. I'll put time down here, I guess. So we'll go like this, and I'm just going to write time. Yeah, let's write time. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead, and that's already embedded from the previous one, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm just going to do time, oops, not with capital, time text, I'm going to call it. So that's how I'll interact with this. Okay, so time. And I'm just going to go down in here, so we'll do that. And then I'm just going to say that time text dot text is going to be equal to time space, oops, quotes, plus the string and time left, like that. And let's see. And it should count down, hopefully. So you can see 19, 20. So it's counting down my seconds. And if I click these guys, you're going to see that's going to add to my score, which is great. And this is going to go down to 0. But then once it gets down to 0, it's going to start going to negatives, which doesn't work. So now what we need to do is set up a function that's basically going to make the game be done. Okay. So I'm thinking we'll do that last. So I think I'm going to stop it here, and then what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to replace just this generic plopping up of the characters here that aren't doing anything, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the other thing happen. Okay. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is in the next video I'm going to make it so that the enemies running left and right are spawned on either side outside of the frame and come across. All right, which will make it a little bit like more challenging, because right now if you look, it's just they just pop up, so they're sitting there until you kill them. Which even if they disappeared after a while, which I could do, you know, it'd be a little bit more challenging. But we have the timer, and eventually we'll use the timer to quit the game. But we're going to call that good for now.